Right. Hi, Christian. My name is Matthew. I'm going to be walking you through this session today. Before we begin, I have some information for you, and I'm going to read it to make sure that I cover everything. You are probably already have a good idea of why we asked you here, but let me go over it again briefly. We're asking people to try using a website that we're working on to see whether it works as intended. This session should take about an hour. Well, it won't. It took 11 minutes for the first person I did this with. Um, The first thing I want to make clear right away is that we're testing this site, not you. You can't do anything wrong here. In fact, this is probably the one place today where you don't have to worry about making any mistakes. uh, as you use the site, I'm going to ask you as much as possible to try to think out loud, to say what you're looking at and what you're trying to do and what you're thinking. This will be a big help to us. Also, please don't worry that you're going to hurt our feelings. We're doing this to improve the site, so we need to hear your honest reactions. If you have any questions as we go along, just ask them. I may not be able to answer them right away since we're interested in how people do when they don't have someone sitting right next to them for help, but if you still have any questions when we're done, I'll try to answer them then. And if you need to take a break at any point, just let me know. You may have noticed the microphone with With your permission, we're going to record what happens on the screen and our conversation. The recording will only be used to help us figure out how to improve the site. It won't be seen by anyone except the people working on this project, and it helps me because I don't have to take as many notes. There are also a few people from the web design team observing the session in another room. They can't see us, just a screen. If you would, I'm going to ask you to sign a simple permission form for us. It says that we have permission to record you, and the recording will only be seen by people working on the project. So. All right. Do you have any questions so far? All right. Before we look at the site, I'd like to ask you just a few quick questions. First, what is your occupation? What do you do all day?
Bartender.
And student?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Um, Now, roughly how many hours a week altogether, just a ballpark estimate, would you say you spend using the internet, including web browsing and email at work and at home?
About like 15, maybe 20.
Okay. What's the split between email and browsing, a rough percentage?
Uh, 80-20 browsing email.
Okay. What kinds of sites are you looking at when you browse the web?
Image boards.
Do you have any favorite websites?
Netflix, YouTube,
Anything else?
4chan. Right there.
All right. Okay, great. We're done with questions, and we can just start looking at things. All right. Go ahead and go to the University of Dallas website. Not the University of Texas at Dallas, the University of Dallas. All right. First, I'm going to ask you to look at this page and tell me what you make of it, what strikes you about it, and whose site do you think it is. What can you do here, and what's it for? Just look around and do a little like narrative.
So I've never heard of this school, but I assume that it is separate from UT Dallas. It says that it's a Catholic university at the top for independent thinkers. So, I mean, I guess that's pretty cool. Um, I would say it's pretty well organized. Like, the menu's pretty decent. It comes out quick. I can't tell if it's Flash or HTML based, but it looks nice. Pretty sure I could find most of anything that I'm looking for here. It's responsive. And I don't know, it's just well organized. I like the fact that they put everything at the top. It's just like it's there. Easy peasy.
All right, thanks. Now I'm going to ask you to try to do some specific tasks on the site. I'm going to read each of them out loud, and let's just get started. I'm going to ask you to do these tasks without using the search bar. We'll learn a lot more about how well the site works that way. And again, as much as possible, it will help if you try to think out loud as you go along. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is to register to visit the University of Dallas campus. So what are you doing?
Oh, I first opened the menu at the top, and I went to admissions, and then I found visit UD. And I guess I'll just pick a date here, which will be tomorrow, because that's easy. And go ahead and select. Oh. Okay. Little checkbox didn't work, so I had to click the link. And the deadline has passed for this date. Well, that's a little misleading because the date was selected as tomorrow. So if the... Oh, I see. Well, the calendar tells me that what's unavailable and filled. So I guess we'll go ahead and pick a date that's not filled. Give my information. Chrome autofill doesn't work on this site, which is kind of annoying, but also kind of cool because Chrome autofill is the devil. So
The devil?
yeah, it's weird that Google Chrome keeps track of like all of my account information without me really asking it to. Like I let it happen, but like I never went out of my way to like have Chrome autofill every single form. It's just kind of weird.
Is that autofill or cookies?
It's autofill.
Oh.
Chrome has its own like separate, and it's weird. You know, like it's weird how frequently it'll activate, and like you know, like useful. I can't be mad. Like I still use it, but it's pretty disconcerting.
Okay, let's not get too far off track. And you found out how to like fill out all this stuff, so I won't make you go any further. So the next thing I want you to do is find out how to apply to the University of Dallas as an undergraduate.
Okay. The menu, and then I'm gonna go to apply now. Scroll down a little. Let's say undergraduate common application. And I guess that's the way that's happening. Oh, well, I haven't used this in enough time. See, that's autofill. You know, like. But yeah, I haven't used this long enough to like actually be able to log in.
Okay. But you figured out how to do it anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so the next thing I want you to do is to go through the various pages on the site and make sure that none of the images are broken and they're all like intact.
Okay. I mean, from what I saw earlier, I didn't notice any like problems with any of the images, and I'm not really seeing any scrolling the site right now. So this is cool. These are well done.
All right, great. Now, for the fourth task, I want you to find some ways that you can contact the University of Dallas.
Okay. Well, usually contacts are at the bottom of any page, so I'm gonna scroll. Don't really see anything there, but I am on the athletics website, so I'm gonna try to just go back far enough to get back to the main site. Click the button at the top left to get home, and then I'm gonna find my contact information down here. Got a phone number, an address, directions, and a contact us page. And that's gonna show me basically everything if I could ever want. So.
All right, cool. Now, for the final task, I want you to find 5 up-and-coming events at the University of Dallas.
Okay. So I'm going to open the menu. I'm Campus Life, because that seems like the best fit. And I'm going to say calendar of events, but I'm going to open that in a separate tab. Events and conference services. That works. So this events and conference services seems to be mostly about setting up an event, which I'm not interested in, so I'm going to leave that tab. Then I'm going to go to the calendar of events, and I guess I could literally just pick the top 5, and I get like that seems like it would be pretty it would fit. So I mean, yeah, it just shares me the events, it gives me the time, and it gives me options to share them to social media as well as add them to what I assume is a Google Calendar.
Okay. So thank you very very much for helping me out today. And do you have any questions now that we're done?
Nope.
Okay. Cool.